she's the smart one. And Jay, well, he's the one that always has his lip stuck out.
This is not going to go well for you, bro.
Call in live with your comments and questions. 404-355-8699. That's 404-355-8699. Now, let's talk real with Jay and Shay.
Good evening, Atlanta. Welcome to the Jay and Shay Show. I'm Jay.
And I'm Shay.
You got to be kidding me. Really?
I'm Shay.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Let's start this one off a little different and ask Shay, how was your week?
Oh, really? You
okay, back to me. Back to me. No, it's like, Shay, how was your week? How was your week?
You starting already. No, I don't even try to, don't even fake. Don't do your
fake
thing.
what?
Do your thing.
Do my thing.
Yeah.
And my week was really chaotic.
Chaotic?
It was really chaotic.
C-H-A.
Oh, is it a spelling bee?
Oh, I'm just saying, Makila
Just
and
because
the
I
bee.
were you?
Yes.
All right, ain't wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Makila.
But let's get back to my week.
Okay.
My week was just really, really crazy.
Uh-huh.
But you know something I told you was uplifting is I still was able to make it here on time. And I felt good about being here because this made my week. How about that?
Is that right? Is that right?
Yes, that's how it is sometimes when you doing what you need to be doing. I work, but I enjoy being here. So how was yours? I hope it was better than mine, let alone that traffic. We won't talk about it.
Traffic was
We won't talk about that.
today. I couldn't get my Mexican margarita before the show.
All I can tell you is ATL. I don't know what goes on when it rains, but y'all need to stop, okay?
Not from here.
Let's take a moment and think about where you're going
They need some
for
prayer.
you can plan before you leave because whoever running out there and wrecking is making me mad. They do it every time it rains.
You know what?
What's that?
How you gonna blame them off the bat?
Because they're the ones in the wall, and I had to pass them in the hill. It took me all day to get past them.
That's your story. You sticking
Because
to it.
I see how fast they drive when it's dry.
Well, look, we had a good show today. I'm sorry you had a chaotic week, but hopefully I can make it feel better by the end of this weekend.
Oh,
and you
thank you.
can make sure you have
can.
some drinks and get yourself. Look, I ain't gonna ask you how your toes doing today or nothing.
It'd be very nice
Okay.
because I was just wondering,
I'll make sure you have a better weekend. How about that? Can I do that?
if you say so.
Okay, good. All right. Don't be smiling and laughing.
Power of prayer.
Anyway, we have a great show in store today, and we have a super guest, a good friend of mine that I just love because her story is just so amazing.
I liked her story.
Her story just I've known her a long time, and it just she inspires me. She is just an incredible mother. She's shown how to be a great single mom, etc., and never let defeat. She has a great story. But anyway, Nina Brown is with us today.
Hey.
And she just has a plethora, that's what I say, plethora of amazing accomplishments and achievements. But she was the V103 show producer. She was the show producer for Frank Ski Show in Washington, D.C. She was on 11 Alive, and it just goes on and on and on and on. So without further ado, Miss Nina.
Hello.
Hey.
That was such a warm welcome.
Wasn't it though? I mean, she read a diary on you. I was like, hold on.
I forgot y'all were talking to me. I was like, oh, good. Who's this girl? I need to know her. Thank you so much. That's humbling.
I hope she talked like that about me when I ain't around. I'm about to say, she made you sound so good.
You know what? And another thing, I didn't even read anything. I took that right off my heart. So be quiet over there.
Oh, hold on. Don't be hating over here.
Be quiet over there.
See, first of all, she hating. Okay, that's all I want you to know on her front. She hating. But the bottom line, we definitely enjoy you being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Nina, you have not met this crazy man yet, but
Hold on. Why you gotta be crazy?
okay, but
See, there you go.
This is Jay.
That's why I sit around my lip poked out because of that right now.
Another Jay, Nina. So you already know what I'm dealing with.
Yes. He will keep you on your toes.
You know
you go.
it. You know it.
She know me already.
Absolutely. Jeremiah is something else. But Nina, if you will, share with us, if you want to share your story. I will give our listening audience what our topic is today. Was very simply, why do women feel they have to dummy themselves down or act a little less than they are as a true, smart, intelligent, fabulous woman in order to get or keep a man? But in the meantime, what I love about you is that you have a great story, and you are just awesome. I mean, you've shown me over the years that you can do anything. You've been a mentor, a motivator, posts. You've been so transparent all the way. So I knew you when there was no J, little J, in between J, and now a peanut butter and J. So
did you really just say peanut butter and jelly?
Yes. They
peanut butter and jelly.
Yes, they peanut butter and
that's
jelly.
That's a good sandwich.
Honey.
That's back in the day right there. That's
exception.
like bologna and cheese. What you talking about? You don't know nothing about that. She don't know nothing about that.
I'm just saying.
Well, I will say, like, everything you just said is so true, but it's been a growing process. It's been like a full circle. Like, the woman I am today is not who you knew when we first met, and it's been a 10-year evolution. So it's something I'm proud of, just because I know that God's been working on me for a while, and I can finally feel like I am the person that He designed me to be, and I understand my purpose. But it's been a long time coming. It wasn't an easy transition.
I know. I agree, because I watched you through that. I went through some stuff of my own while you were going through it, and I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay single. I'm going to say celibate for 15 years.
You're going to say what now?
Celibate.
Did you just say celibate?
Celibate.
I know you're a spelling queen, but did you just hear what you said?
I can spell that.
I ain't asked you to spell it. Did you really do that?
Yes. That
really?
means without.
Okay, back to you.
Yeah.
I don't even want to question that right there.
He know all about
That's
it.
That's the Court of Appeals right there. Wow.
Anyway, share with us, Nina, what you want to share with us as far as either your story or I can definitely read a couple of your posts that I just found amazing.
I mean, in short, I've been in the entertainment industry for the last 10 years. And, I have definitely made my mistakes when it comes to dating. Thought I had found love a couple of times. Turned out not to be the case. Been played by a couple of people. Had my heart broken a couple of times. Like, I really went through a couple of things to finally get to the point where I had to say, like, what am I doing wrong in relationships? Because I can't keep blaming the other person, because I choose these people as well. We chose each other for whatever reason. And I just remember getting to the point where I said, I have to be responsible for the people that I'm choosing. And why is this consistently not working out? And I remember that moment. It was literally an aha moment for me. And I said, I need to be responsible for the people I choose. Some of them were emotionally available. Some of them were should not have been in other relationships because they were in a relationship. Some of those people they played the game. It was all about the chase. It's just like the facade of like dating in Atlanta. It was like, you got to keep it on the hush. You can't do this. So many options. So they don't want to commit. It was just so many things. Some people weren't even spiritually where I needed them to be to really even bring around my son and actually, look at them as a partner long term. So I remember just finally saying, like, I've got to do things differently if I want to get different results. And at that point, I started to focus on me. It wasn't even about being single. It wasn't about being in a relationship. I said, let me become the woman that I am supposed to be, or that I know God created me to be, and just trust that the right man will come along. And of course, it's easier said than done as women, and especially in our 30s, we get antsy, we get impatient, and of course, you want what you want, and it was hard. It's not easy to just, like you said, just kind of fall back and just say, let me focus on me. But I started to realize as I started to focus on me as a woman and just coming into my womanhood, then that started to attract a completely different type of man, because it's like attracts like. So, I mean, it was obvious to me that if I continue to become me, develop me, and be confident in who I am and my abilities and what I bring to the table, then I will attract the man that ultimately was designed for me. And it took a very long time to do that. But I'm so proud to say that I was finally able to do that. And when I met Jamil, the person that I'm with now, it was instant. Like, we both just knew. And it was because when you know who you are and you understand your purpose, you speak a different language. And the only people that can understand that language are the people who also know who they are and understand their purpose. And it's just like, it's a language that others will not understand. So when we met, I was like, oh, you speak my language. Oh, we speak each other's language. And everything was so easy. Everything, my dreams, my goals, either mirrored his, or it was something that we both felt like, oh, wow, I didn't think of it like that. Let's do that together. Everything was about partnership and growing. And, you know, it was nothing like any of the relationships that I had been in before. And I just knew, like, this is it. And the first night we talked, I got on my knees and prayed because I said, I knew in my spirit that there was something very different and unique about, like, just the whole, like, beginning of the relationship. And, you know, I don't know if I don't want to take us too far off topic. As a producer, I understand how this works. But, I mean, if you do want me to touch on how I met him,
Yes.
which is so out of my comfort zone.
Hold on. Look at you over here. Yes.
I mean,
look,
I
you're
know
getting all
the story.
excited over there. Yes.
I know. The reason I'm excited is because I know the story, and I've you know, listened to her
I don't know
heart.
the story, but I know you got excited about it. I'm about to say.
Because it lets us know as women, and Nina said so many great things. Nina, I want to start off by saying you said some great things, and that is knowing who you are as a woman and not just accepting just to have a mate or have or whatever, or to be booed up because you see all the rest of your family doing it and your friends. And
it's almost like waiting for your Boaz.
yeah, you definitely have to wait on your Boaz. And that's exactly what she ended up doing, was taking a pause and saying, you know what, instead of just looking and looking and looking and not being the hunted person, she just waited.
That's right.
And that's one of the keys is if you just wait, he will bring him to you. But a lot of women get discouraged. They get in their 30s and they're like, oh, wait a minute, my egg's going away.
Exactly.
Because
Menopause.
society... You know what? Don't talk about me and Daisy over here.
I'm just
I am
saying.
not in menopause.
Whatever makes y'all
I
want to
refuse
anxiously jump
to
out
say
there. I mean,
that I am in menopause.
I don't know if you're looking at the clock, the time. I'm just wondering.
It's all of that.
I'm just wondering.
Because everybody starts asking us, when you going to get somebody? When you going to date?
Right,
When-
right.
But look at half the ones that's asking you.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But,
you really gonna listen to the ones that ain't even right themselves? Really?
Well, that's true, but there's a pressure, especially women are getting married a lot later because they're going through college. They're not only just doing their bachelor's, they're going all the way through their master's, their doctorate. So by the time they are ready to settle down and got that high-powered job, like for instance for me, I was not looking for anybody because I was at Turner Broadcasting. I was controlling and getting in my nice little office and driving my little car. And
If I wasn't mistaken, weren't you married already?
No, not when I was doing that. That was after pass.
okay.
But anyway, but
Just checking.
yes, I was married already,
yeah,
but
yeah. Okay.
widowed by then. The man did die. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, she been through some things.
I'm just saying.
Sean, let me add to that too. Like, being in the industry that we are in, and even regardless if you're in entertainment or corporate America, being in like male-dominated industry, I'm not gonna lie. I was told by the men that I was around that as a woman I should just hang it up because I needed to focus on my career.
Right.
I remember them saying, oh, you're not, when I would question or have conversations with the very few women around me, and I'd be like, man, when am I going to meet somebody great? And I remember hearing the men around me say, you're not, like, you work in radio, you work in the entertainment industry, like, it's not going to happen until you're done with it. And so we, like, really honestly, it's crazy when people are telling you have to choose between your career and having a family or creating a family. And it's such a double standard, and that's not fair.
And I was told that. I literally was told, look, do you want to get to the top of this Turner broadcast? And if you want to get to the top, then you're going to have to be in here 16 to 18 hours every week. You have no life. If you want to be at the top of this corporate chain, you don't have time for booze, your husband, or nothing else. You just gonna be here day in and day out, and you got plenty of time to figure everything else out family wise.
Well, can I ask y'all ladies, since you guys went through that, and I can't respond because I'm not a woman, was it worth it?
For me, it wasn't, for two reasons, and that is, one, I did not know my daughter. And when my husband died, my daughter was 5 years old. And when he died, I didn't know what color she liked. I didn't know anything about her because he bathed her at night. He got dinner done. He had to do so many things because I didn't get off of work till 9, 10 o'clock at night because it was always month-end closing or quarter closing or something, because at that time I was doing the accounting thing. And so there was always a closing. So I realized when he passed, I didn't know anything about her. All I knew was her name, and she loved mommy, and her and daddy spent majority of the time on the weekend because I had to work weekends. So they go fishing, and they had all these experiences, and I didn't have that experience with her.
So as a quick reflection, as a parent, you felt like you was not a good parent at that point?
At that point, once he passed,
even though you was a provider and you did all these great things.
That's the key. You think you're doing well because you're not. You're getting up you're doing the high dollar income, so you're not allowing your child to suffer the way you did, the way you were brought up. I was brought on the east side of Detroit, so my story was straight up poverty: bologna sandwich and cheese and farina, and dried milk. So I was not farina. And so I was not letting my daughter have to do that. And the same thing with my husband. He was on the east side of Detroit. Both we grew up in high school together, high school sweethearts. So we were forced to say our kids are not going to be that. So when we came to Atlanta and settled, we was like, oh, we going for the gusto. This is where you can make all the money in the world, and you're going to make it. So when I saw that happening, and I knew I had Falcons tickets, Braves tickets, Hawks tickets, a nice cushy office at Turner, lovely. Oh, I thought I had made it, and my daughter was not going to have to need for anything. So I felt like I was providing enough for her that she didn't need me because she got the best daycare, the best.
I just want you to know one thing. I wasn't blasting you or any woman that has to go through that. Please understand. I'm starting a dialogue because, again, what you saying you had to do, men been doing as well. And, again, we get disconnected the same way, and that's why that disconnect, and you was asking about why men ain't out here doing this, because of that right there. All that work takes you away from being with your own child, and it can cause a disconnect. And it's not about you trying to be a bad parent, but it's the things that we do. We don't always talk about the indirects, and that indirectly impacts our children.
Right.
But go ahead, Nina. I ain't trying to take away from you now.
I just want to add to that, too. I mean, think about all of the single women who have no choice but to do it because there is no one else. There's not a second person in the household to help them provide for their children. So, on my internet. But, so just think, you know what I mean? It's crazy when if it's a two-parent household, it's at least you've got some kind of balance there. At least you can try to make it. But, I mean, there's so many single women in our country that have no choice, but they have to do it because they will not have a house to live in and food on the table. So it's hard. But like you said, Jay, it does, the importance of having families and the father in the household and the balance there is critical. It is everything. It's the reason we have all the problems in the world because of that missing element.
Definitely true. And we want you to stay right there now. Don't go nowhere.
We've got to take a break.
You already know about this.
You know how this goes.
Yeah.
We've got to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with Talking Real with Jay and Shay on Love 860. Give us a call at 404-355-8699. We'll be right back.
Who's make excuses why they can't last long in bed? The days of the little blue pill is over. That's right. Gorilla Triple X is the new sensation that got everybody going crazy. This little gold pill is responsible for saving thousands of relationships. Ladies, Don't go buy your man what he want for his birthday. Buy him what he need. A bottle of Gorilla Triple X. Look here, they stronger than Viagra. They last longer than Cialis. By the time your man finishes with you, your legs gonna be shaking like a hoopty with bad gas in it, I say. He gonna make you go from walking knock-kneed to walking bow-legged. You feel me? Fellas, don't let your ego keep making you feel like a little chimp. Take one of these Gorilla Triple X and become a gorilla you know you is, man. We even got deals on them. 2 for 10, 4 for 15, 6 for 21, and 12 of them for only $35, man. Call your boy Head right now. 706-593-4323. Gorilla Triple X. Stop making excuses and start making us say, baby, you about to kill me up in this thing.
All right. We back. That Gorilla Pill, man, really
I mean,
laugh every time. But before
I have to say, our show is sponsored by I Sell Brazilian Hair, but he also sells Gorilla Pills.
Yeah, you do.
But
Quit being a chimp. Flashback Friday. Now, that's kind of embarrassing just to go right into another sponsor, but I got to keep it real. Flashback Fridays, Coco Cabana. Please come out. April the 24th. We are leaving the studio at 9. We hope to be there at 9:30. Please support us. Come on out. Have a great time.
Live, Heels and Hookahs, Flashback
I knew
Friday.
you had to
yeah, play some cards.
Now, see, that's what I was about to let you know.
And I'm gonna get some whooping on them spades tables, but nonetheless,
Did
DJ
you
Cowboy.
get whooped last time?
Well, that's not. The
I mean, you did some accounting. Did you count how many times you got set?
You made me play with a listener, and we didn't play together like we normally do.
First of all, don't hate on the listeners.
No.
So y'all that come and you think you good, grab Shay.
No.
Because you ain't going to beat me.
I'm
just
happy right now. I'm sticking with my partner,
I don't want nobody
Jay.
to have
Sorry.
a good time. But please come out. Have a good time with us. Again, 4073 La Vista Road. If y'all ain't been on that side of town, it's Tucker. It's very nice. We actually went through there.
The
Shay
food
been
is delicious.
there. But, man, I tell you, very nice club. Upscale. It's a dress club, so don't come in there with tennis shoes. But
ladies
come
free.
to impress because ladies are free until 11.
Yes.
And what you just said, the food was amazing.
Awesome. And the drinks were good, too. But also, DJ Cowboy and DJ Charlie Mason will be doing a DJ battle.
And I think I like both because I've been to both of their shows. They do great.
Yes. So we're excited about that. But nonetheless, let's get back to Miss Nina Brown, who has graced us with her presence and just given her a little feedback about relationships and being single out here, and just the reality of what's going on out here is just something else. That's all I can say. But
it's even more challenging in the city of Atlanta. As much as I love this city, it is a super big challenge when it comes to dating. So I mean, I don't know. It's hard. I tell every woman single in Atlanta, like, it takes a special sort of patience and connection to be able to find someone here, because it's a different culture here in Atlanta.
I agree. I see some people go away and find them a boo and bring them back.
Hold on. Did you say you got to run out of Atlanta to get somebody?
Yeah.
I found mine out of the country.
Yeah.
So
she found hers out the country. She had to go so far.
Where you go, Haiti?
No.
I went to Japan. I had to go to Japan.
Lord,
so I'm all about, you got to go out. You can bring them back.
International traveler. Okay. You got to go all the way there just to find somebody there.
Okay.
Hey, you sharp. I
And
ain't saying
and
nothing.
Jay, the best part about it is, and no one was over there looking. I didn't have any competition. Okay.
See?
So there you go.
See? And that's something we talked about last week, Nina, is a woman called in and said that she'd been in a 16-year relationship / marriage. And we were still trying to figure out what did that mean, relationship / marriage. But she was now single.
Did you really got to call her out like that? Really?
I'm just
you
saying.
know she probably still listening.
Well, she probably is. I'm sorry, dear. I didn't call her name, but she know who she is. But the fact is that The fact is, she feels like now that she's out here dating, she said this new dating is for the birds. She said every man is straight up with her, telling her that he's dating 2 or 3 different people, and he's also telling her, well, you need to date 2 or 3 people as well, because she says she just keeps running into people who say, you know, I'm figuring it out, and they're not trying to commit. They don't want to just date just one. They're upfront. They say, hey, yes, I'm seeing you and 3 others, and what? Take it or leave
Welcome to Atlanta.
Right.
Welcome to Atlanta.
And that's just awful. But
it is.
Go ahead and tell us what you wanted to tell us early before we took a break about how you met him and what you've discovered in your process, because that's what I loved about your posts. That was the one that was called Fall in Love with Someone Who Doesn't Make You Think Love is Hard. And you talked about your process of going through the tears and going through everything and still understanding what it means to be finding that one.
Yeah, well, after many failed attempts of dating in Atlanta, I finally decided that I've got to get out of my comfort zone and do something differently. So I went online, and initially I started in Atlanta after being encouraged to do it by my sister, because I don't go out. Like, that's not... Hello?
We right here. We want to know why you wasn't trying to go out. Keep on.
Oh, right. So... I mean, that's just not my philo. But yet I'm complaining because I want to meet someone nice, and everyone's like, well, you got to be on the scene. I'm like, but that's not me. So they said, try online dating. I did it in Atlanta. That was a grand opening and a grand closing, because literally the same people online in Atlanta were the same people, the same fools I would have met at the bar or in the club.
Wow.
So what kind of feedback was you getting from the online dating? You know, for the listeners to be able to feel what you went through. We want more of that interaction with all you went through. I don't want all your dirt, because I know you're happy now. But, you know, go ahead, give us a little something.
Well, let's just say there were a couple of people that I wasn't sure of their sexuality. They were giving me all kinds of red flags. Let's see what else. There was just a couple of people who, like, had zero conversation, and I'm like, boo, you're online. Like, you have to converse back and forth with me, or this will not work. There was a couple of people who were very, like, superficial, like, oh, this is what I do, this is who I am, and I was like, that ain't gonna work. There was another person who was like, I didn't put a picture up. Like, that's what I refused to do, because I didn't want it to be about what I did. And there were still a couple of people, like, when I would go on and look at the people online, I saw people that I knew. And I was like, okay, this is scary.
Now,
like,
hold on.
I was like, Atlanta's just too small.
When you didn't put your picture up, did you notice you got any and everybody trying to go after you, or people still try to want to see what you look like? I'm trying to see the interaction of you not putting your picture compared to them seeing you. Because, again, everybody don't date, and they probably thinking about this online thing. I'm trying to give them a real experience. Go ahead and tell it.
No, and that's a valid question. Honestly, not putting your picture up is like half stepping. And if you can't expect to get 100 if you only put in 50. And at the time, I didn't know, but also I don't regret not doing it in Atlanta, because I needed that, like, kind of a reality shock of what it really was, like what it was, and it just turned me off immediately. So I opened, grand opening, grand closing. I didn't do it again until when Frank Ski got his radio contract in D.C., and I was in D.C. Traveling back and forth for a year and a half. I was in a brand new city, and again, I'm feeling like, okay, literally I would leave the show, go home to my crash pad, and it would be like, okay, twiddling my thumbs. What am I going to do? I'm not going to go out. So I got back online, and what I did differently, which I would recommend to anyone listening who's ever thought about doing online dating, is I set up a profile in Washington, D.C. So these people, and I put my picture up, I put several pictures up. I put my name. I never discussed what I did, but I said I have a very successful career. However, my career does not define me. This is the other thing I did, Jay. I was very detailed. My profile information was so long. If you even follow me on Instagram, you see that I write. But I said, this is either going to scare a man or this is going to make him, like, fall in love and, like, respect me, because exactly what I wanted, I put on that page. I wasn't afraid to say, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I offer, this is what I bring to the table, this is who I am as a person. And I would get messages from men all the time who said, and right hand to God, they would say, I am not where I need to be to even come at you, but I want you to know that I have so much respect for everything you said on there. Like, men would just say, what you wrote is just dope. I'm nowhere near that, but I just want you to know, like, I appreciate it as a man. It's refreshing to hear. And I would always reply and say thank you. Now, I would get the fools who would send me the one-liner messages, or what I would say the copy and paste templates that you could tell they didn't read anything. Because they would ask me dumb questions that were already like covered, or they would just comment on the way I looked. But you could always tell who read the profile and who was genuinely interested in like what you had to say.
Now,
No, I
was about to ask you, did that take you into the real relationship, or is that just when you was just playing?
No, this is what took me into the real relationship. The site that I was on, because I did try a few different ones out, Black People Meet, Uber Fail. I tried Match. They wanted too much information. eHarmony. It was like they wanted everything but my social security number. They probably did ask for that.
Now, Shay know all about that now. You know she was a Kruger.
He is totally.
You know how she is now. I know that's your girl.
You know what?
Them.
Just cut it out.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to cut you off.
I did OkCupid. I really, really, really like I put my stamp on OkCupid. And I saw. Huh?
Shay over here shaking her head like,
because I was on OkCupid too.
I told you, your girl was a freak.
No, mind you, I still got some ratchet messages. I mean, it's just like dating in real life. I mean, you're still going to get some, foolery, and then every once in a while you're going to get some. I mean, I went on a couple of dates before I met the person that I'm with now. And the interesting thing that online dating did is, truth be told, up until I started to online date, I had never dated outside of my race, which is interesting for me because I come from a multiracial background where my stepmom and my stepdad are both white. My mom is Samoan, my dad is black. So you would think that I would have been more like open to it. But being in Atlanta, I just never had a desire to date outside of my race. And when I went online, it just kind of took down. First of all, it puts you in a whole new category because you're not at a black place or a black club or a black restaurant where that's primarily everything around you, or at a black radio station. They don't know. So I was getting some of the best messages I got were from white guys. And one white guy I went out with, and it made me so proud that I actually stepped outside of my comfort zone. It never went anywhere, but to this day, I have nothing but to say about him. And it was after a few months that I had my profile that the person that I'm with now sent me a message, and immediately I could tell that he read it because he said, it seems like you know exactly what you want, and that's what's so beautiful. And we went back. I quickly looked at his page, and I was like, he looks good. Okay, he's 6'10". Check.
Oh, Lord.
Check.
We might need to know the age of them.
He's 37. I read his profile. We had a very similar sense of humor. And there were just things that I could tell, like he's well-traveled. Well-traveled, well-educated, has children, wanted more, had already been through some stuff in life. So that made me feel good. Like, okay, at this age, at this point in his life, he should know what he wants. And he was in Japan. I was in Washington, D.C. We were both in those places for work. And I felt like, okay, this is a good sign because he's not in Atlanta and it's not all of these extra distractions. And we talked and FaceTime 22 hours a day probably. And on the third day, I knew, like the first night we texted, which was the third day we were communicating, I knew that was going to be I knew he was going to be my husband. And I sent my sister a text message at 5 o'clock in the morning when we hung up. And I said, I met my husband, and this is his name, and I just need it to be documented. And 6 weeks later, I was on a plane to meet this man that I was already in love with for the very first time. And when I arrived in Japan and walked out of the baggage claim area where he was standing, I walked into his arms, and he said, "Forever begins now." And he was like, "I love you so much." And we've been inseparable since.
That is so romantic.
Inseparable since.
Hold on. We gotta go back to
now.
something she said though. How you feel about that racial, as in relationships? Because you said at one time you wouldn't normally feel like you would go out there. Do you feel like something's wrong with it? Because again, by being in Atlanta and dealing with a lot of blacks in Atlanta and working in a profile black industry and radio, do you think that made you feel that way?
Yeah, well, it's not even that it made me feel that way, but my first love was my father. And as a little girl, my image of what I thought, what I wanted was an image of my father, and he is a black man. So to me, that was always, what the standards should be. And of course, my dad chose non-black women, but that's not who I looked at and thought, like, I want to, fall in love with someone who resembles them. I wanted someone who resembles my father. And because I was surrounded by urban culture all the time, that's just a cool, I never went out of that, because after work and, just hanging with friends, that's what was around me. So those are the people who became my network, my associates, my best friends, my closest people. So that's just what it became. But, it's okay to have preferences. Without question, I prefer a black man. But you cannot, it's not a rule of mine. If I met a white man, if I met a non-black man who treated me good, who was, spirituality was there, and who, respected me as a woman, then it wouldn't be a deal breaker. It's just a preference, not a deal breaker for me.
I like that word, preference. I like that.
Not a deal breaker.
Because again, I like the fact that you was willing to go even out the country, because that really lets you know you went all the way out the box. But what made you step so far out the box, though?
Well, what made me step so far out of the box was, first of all, just like I knew I had to do something different. But with him specifically, when you're online dating, especially when you are, 8,000 miles away from each other, it took the physical out of that. So we had to communicate. We learned, so we would have the most intimate conversations. And when I say intimate, it has nothing to do with sex. We talked about, growing up and past relationships and, what your purpose is and, what are your goals and dreams in life. We talked about that stuff. And it's because we had this, long-distance relationship, it gave us time to really figure out who each other was. And so falling in love was so easy because it was truly based on the non-physicals, the intangibles. And I really was we talked about family. We talked about, future. He, like me, has been married, divorced, and has children from a previous relationship. So, we talked about spirituality. We asked those questions. I remember having the conversation with him when I finally got to Japan, and I said, what do you want your legacy to be? And I've asked that question to previous people that I've dated, and I remember people that I have the utmost respect for that I thought, were a reflection of me because we were good friends. I remember them saying, well, I just want to make a lot of money. That's so important. I remember thinking, it was a deal breaker because I'm thinking that can't be it. I get, it's Atlanta and, this is what it is. It's the entertainment industry, but that can't be it. And I remember asking Jamil when I was in Japan, and he said, he plays professional sports, and his answer was, I just want to be able to take care of my family and be happy. And at that moment, I knew, it was further confirmation that this was a man that I was going to spend the rest of my life with because, someone who has had a privileged life, who's made a lot of money, at the end of the day, he was like, I just want to take care of my family and be happy. His job in sports and basketball was just a job. He said it's a great way to provide for my family, but it doesn't define who I am. And it's exactly what I felt like in radio. It's provided a great life for my family, but it doesn't define who Nina Brown is, with or without being. I could be at a radio station, a TV station, or a gas station. I'm still going to be the Nina Brown that I know I'm supposed to be spiritually. And when he said that, I knew. I said, this man is everything. And I would, no matter what, I was all in. I was already all in, obviously, when you get on a plane and fly to Japan.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, you was either all in or just crazy.
But probably I was crazy in love, and I was all in.
You was a whole lot of crazy in love, girl. You just jumped on the plane and went somewhere you ain't know nobody.
The best
for a person that you was just having a dialogue on what was she on? Cupid?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. See, and that's the problem is when you look at it like, oh, it's just a dialogue. No. This is true intimacy. This is really getting to know someone on a deeper level, on a spiritual level, understanding their quirks, why they are, how they are, the person that they are, like understanding his whole life and understanding what he wants in the future. That's why people just are, the way they are about relationships, because they are, oh, it's a dialogue. No. It's the way relationships are supposed to be built.
There you go.
You get to know someone on a deeper level.
That's real. That's knowing him on a personal, real level.
The best part about it is it was a mutual. We were in sync the whole time. At no point ever did either of us feel like I like you more than than you like me, or I love you more. I mean, if anything, we still to this day compete about who loves who more, and that's the best way to be, because like when you're all into that extreme, it's like there's no opportunity to fall out of love, because you're always trying to please and make the other person happy because you just love them that much.
Wow.
It's selfless. It's a selfless type of love.
Wow.
Hey, it's like that Jay-Z and Beyonce.
I tell you, I love her story. This is why I love her story.
She got a nice story. She really do. But we got.
Thanks, Jay.
Oh yeah, I got to give it to you now. You sharp. I like that. Now you out the box, and sometimes that's what we got to do to find it. You can't just stay in that little box and think it's going to come to you. But we got to go to break, though.
Well, sorry, babe. I mean, just you see how much I love her. This is why.
I ain't never said a reason
and
why you shouldn't love her. And she writes like this every day on her Instagram. Like if you follow her, you're going down, you're having a bad day, you just look at her and like, okay, it's okay. This friend me and sending to me, I just post it.
Okay,
just post it.
We'll be right back. Can you hang on with us for just one more break, Nina?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back. It's Talking Real with Jay and Shay on Love 860. Call us at 404-355-8699. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Wow, what's happening, baby? I sell Brazilian hair's the place to be if you looking for top of the line quality for a price that's guaranteed to fit your budget. My homeboy here got the hookup, I say. One thing about I sell Brazilian hair is we always got hair on hand, so you ain't never got to worry about not being able to purchase some. One thing about this hair, there is absolutely no shedding, people. Look here, we selling hair so good and cheap they want to put it on the menu at McDonald's and Burger King. Y'all gonna be like, yo, let me get a Big Mac combo and order that Malaysian deep wave, I say. We got $75 a bundle for 18 to 28 inches, and anything under 18 inches is cheaper. We got all kind of hair, man. I sell Brazilian hair, even offer financing, baby. Now where they do that at? Right here at 4910 Buena Vista Road, Suite B, or call us at 706-593-4323. If you don't feel like dialing all them numbers, man, star one hair. I sell Brazilian hair. We love making our people look good. Pew.
We coming back with this. You see them there?
This that funk. This what I do in the gym. Bam.
Really?
Really? Yeah, Zuma been kicking my tail.
You know something? Shouts out to C. Davis.
Yes.
Did not make it in the building again. That's what happens when I have a professional in the house. But I want to do shouts out there to him. So, C. Davis, if you're listening, I hope everything going good for you, my brother.
I see him over here on the gram. He doing his thing. He's up at Bowie State, maybe.
Did you say who?
Bowie State, one of those.
I don't know what you're talking
He's
about
on the gram. He's doing a photo shoot right now.
And
for the
he
seniors
does a great photo shoot. Matter of fact, he did our website. He does great design. He does multiple things. So, again.
But he's funny. I mean, so we're missing our comedian tonight, but it's all good.
I just have to make some jokes. It's all good.
No. I don't need
jokes.
you. You stay
I got
where
this.
you at. Oh, Lord Jesus.
No, Jesus ain't got nothing. I got this.
I just want to keep.
But before I do the jokes,
okay, fine.
Harold's Casino day trip. That's the 25th.
Yeah, we're gonna be busy next weekend.
That'll be after Coco Cabana, and that's a day trip from 12 to 12. Again, that's for y'all that love to gamble. Shay says she good on them slots. I will tell you, I'm on the card table. I can't say nothing.
I like them dice too.
Yeah, my luck ain't like that. But whatever you want to do, we're trying to find great things for y'all can come out, have a great time. And this event right here is another good event. And again, brought to you by JMSA and the Jay and Shay Show.
That's what we do. I can't wait till we go. I'll tell you about that next break, about that Punta Cana. That's what I'm ready to go. Punta Cana.
Girl just want to go shake her feather, whatever. Yeah.
I used to go on all the Frank ski trips, so hey.
Hey.
I didn't miss a trip.
Oh, Lord, Nina, how did you put up with this? You could have pre-warned me.
Anyway,
Instagram me.
turn up.
Tweet me. Warn me.
We have Nina Brown still in the building with us.
And we got a caller, too?
We have a caller that has questions for you as well, Nina. You ready?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Lim, you there?
Peace. How's everybody doing?
We're doing
Good.
excellent.
How are you?
Oh, man, I ain't got no complaints. Miss Brown. Mrs. Brown,
Yes.
how long have you been married to this gentleman?
No, we're not married yet, but we've already discussed marriage, and we are going to get married for sure. That's the other thing. We never shied away from like putting the plan on the table, and we made a 2-year plan when we first started dating. How long have I been dating him? 1.5 years.
Okay. You guys are intimate now?
Did you hear that? She said a 2-year plan. Did you hear that? I just want y'all to hear that. Okay, I'll be quiet.
That what? I bet you don't. I bet money on it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Are you intimate now?
Yeah, I answered that earlier. Yes, we were intimate when I flew to Japan. I didn't leave Japan without it. Like we've been intimate since 6 weeks in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we startled Lim.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out where
Right.
we're going with
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, is this about how to successfully get hooked up on online dating? Is this how to find your husband? Because
No, absolutely not.
what is this conversation about? In that, I feel you met somebody you fell in love with online. Yet, that's
Well, this conversation is about first knowing who you are as a woman or as a man, and understanding what you're looking for, so that way you're attracting the right type of person. Secondly, it's about stepping outside of your comfort zones. If you want something different, you have to sometimes do something different to get different results. And thirdly, it's about when you do meet someone, whether it's in person or online, making sure you build the proper foundation so when you get ready to build the house isn't going to get blown away so quickly. And that's what it's about. It has nothing to do with being online.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, may I ask your faith?
I'm sorry?
May I ask your faith?
I'm
Faith.
He said faith. I can barely hear you, Lim. You might have to
I
call back.
apologize.
Okay, my faith is Christianity.
He may have to call back in because I can barely hear what he's saying.
So that's way, way off. I mean, I know it's 19. I'm sorry. See, I'm old school. It's the new millennium and all this, but you're not in Christianity right now. You're just kind of hanging out there with whatever's good. And
You're not in Christianity right now by judging my walk with Christ. You don't know my walk with Christianity.
Well,
I think we lost that caller.
I don't know where.
Nina?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay. Do apologize for that technical difficulty. I don't know if he called from his cell phone
yeah.
or
No,
landline.
We couldn't hear him.
Like, it's completely okay. Like, I understand completely where he's coming from, but I refuse to let anyone tell me I'm not a Christian and walk in a like, my walk is my walk.
And that's right there defines you. And one thing that I really feel like people are more judgmental these days, and they don't really need to be, because, again, if you're quick to judge somebody, always reflect to yourself, because I feel like before you talk about somebody else, get in the right place yourself. So I don't want to say that he should have said anything to you, but if you're going to come off that hard, I didn't hear him say any good dialogues on how we can structure things a little bit better, because this is a dialogue about us in growth, and it's easy to talk about. But, see, we ain't sitting on no couch. We coming in here to share some things with some people for we can get some reflection, for we can get some change. And blaming ain't changing, and it ain't going to do nothing for us at all. So, again, when people come to the radio station and they want to participate, that's why this is like a life coach, because we're trying to pump real good things into folks, not the rhetoric that happens outside the studio. We already know the ratchetness. We're trying to grow and be a better culture. And that means sometimes being out the box, but being real.
Absolutely.
I will go with that. And that's one of those things where a lot of people have a lot of different ideas about what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be dating, just like the lady last week who said she didn't want to be dating 3 or 4 or 5 people because she didn't want to be kissing 4 frogs, which I thought was, okay, that makes sense. But each his own.
And you know what, Shay, at the end of the day, because I am a Christian, I will say when it's time for me to have that conversation with God, God is not going to. It's not going to be based on what the next person did. Like that's not what He judges you on.
Right.
He's judging you on how you treat the person who falls, who sins. That's what you're going to be judged on. Because that's how God works. Exactly. It's not going to be about what the next person did. So, with all due respect to anyone who thinks anything, like, my walk is my walk, and I'm extremely confident in my faith. If nothing else, that's what I know for sure.
And that is one thing I know about you, is one thing her motto has been, if you've ever looked at her, I used to go to all her vision board parties, and the one thing she always says in most of her things is said, God's girl. She had a website that was God's Girl. And so that just made me follow her even more because I knew I was God's girl. I knew where my thing was. So, you want...
And it was never, Shay, it was never about, like, I always sometimes I have to stop and explain to people. When I say that I'm God's girl, that has nothing to do with about being perfect or never making a mistake or never falling. But it's about knowing that no matter what mistakes I make, no matter how I sin or how I get it wrong, that God still loves me unconditionally because I'm His girl.
Bam.
And as you have a best friend, as you have a partner, like, no matter what mistakes you make or no matter how crazy you behave, that person's loyal to you. And that person's like, you know what? Even though, I wish you would have done it differently, like you do with your children. I love you regardless because you're my girl, you're my boy, you're my child, you're my love. And that's what being God's girl is. It's not to say that that I don't always, that I get it right all the time, 100% of the time. No, that's a part of the journey, is that I trust the process, that I know I'm going to make mistakes, but at the end of the day, I know that God loves me and is proud of me because I understand my purpose and I'm obedient in my purpose, like, daily. So, and I serve. Like, that's at the end of the day, that's all I need to know. Anybody could call from here on out and tell me X, Y, and Z what they want. In the Bible, I'm good with God. Trust and believe. So I pray that you are as well. And that's all that needs to be said about that.
I'll tell you all day long, hope the next caller don't call from a Metro PCS phone so we can actually hear what they got to say.
He was fading in and out.
One of the things I say, it shouldn't be no blaming on religion anyway.
Well, that's the
because
thing.
Again, he put religion in there when she was just talking about dialogue of her dating, and then he want to throw religion. Everybody quick to throw a lot of different things in, and we're trying to coach people into living a life correctly. And I like to say that she was doing that early on, and I don't know if he heard it all or where he wanted to make it go, because he making it seem like we're trying to do something ratchet in here, and this ain't what's ratchet. Dating happens, and if he don't like it, please understand it happens. And what we're trying to do is get a better dialogue for people can do it more successfly to get into a place where she's at, where you want to get to marriage. And that's what offends me, is when they keep talking about, what's all going on? Well, listen, quit judging and open your ears. And if you do that, you'll have a better understanding. And that's what we're trying to bring when we come to the radio station, is a better understanding. And sometimes I feel like it get lost because they already got their prejudgment.
Absolutely.
And again, what I love about Nina is her testimony. So if she's doing nothing else, she's been so transparent with her testimony. That's all I need, is somebody who's willing to say, you know what, I don't always get it right. I fall down, I get up, I'll brush myself off, and I have a great testimony of how it can be done. But the great thing is she's now been able to come back and tell us the new great testimony of how she did wait, she did do some things differently, and now she has her Boaz. And
right.
what?
And if you do it, regardless of how the method of how you go about dating, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. It's about truly understanding who you are as a person, so that, like, bettering that person so that you can present the best you. And when you are able to present the best you, first of all, you attract a different type of person, and then you have a true foundation that you can build off of like Jay said, to be able to bring the family back to our culture and to our generation, what's missing, and then it becomes like a domino effect. So it has nothing to do with the method of the madness. It's all about understanding who you are and becoming that person and meeting the person who is equally yoked and who reflects that.
Well, did you hear that word? Equally yoked. Oh,
Equally
yeah.
yoked.
You deep, girl. I like that.
Before you leave us, because I know we almost are about to run out of time with you, I do want to ask you your opinion on our topic tonight about women having to kind of take a back step and, not. And I probably, one of those things is Jay and I talked about how to say this topic about dummying down, but how women have to kind of, we're smart, we're educated, and we might find a guy that may not be on our same level, but he may just be a great guy who is willing to provide for his family, willing to treat you like a queen, but he may not be the sharpest in politics. He may not be the sharpest in, he may know some, but maybe not all. He may be the greatest handyman or, there's some really great guys out there. But women, we are just like on the hunt. When I say we're on the hunt, we're trying to get to the top of the corporate ladder as fast as we can. And so we learn a lot. But when you find that guy, sometimes you might have to say, okay, I don't want to appear so smart and so overly confident and that's what I loved about your post. You said, hey, that might not be the right guy for you.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And it's twofold for me. Like, I believe it's twofold. It can go both ways. And, it would be an injustice if I just cover one side of it. So let me cover both.
Okay.
I think if you meet a man as a woman who has a bad character, then don't dumb it down. Like, first of all, you have to know your worth. You're worthy of a good person. Okay, it has nothing to do with money, job, or status. Personality can come and go like the wind. Okay, you have a bad day, you have a good day. Your personality changes. Your character doesn't change. Your character is what you do when no one's looking. And as long as they have good character, then you should never settle for anything less than good character. A man should have integrity. Not all men cheat, regardless of what the hype is. And when you find a man who has good character, you won't have to dumb it down because you're worthy of that.
Amen.
And if you find a man who has bad character, then you have to know your worth. It's not about dumbing it down. It's about knowing your worth, and you're worthy of a good man, of integrity, of good character. Now, on the other side, a huge problem in Atlanta especially is that you have these women who are smart, educated, who have great jobs, who come and they've got this long list of he's got to be this, he's got to be that. Like you said, political status, he's got to have 6 figures, he's got to have this car. And sometimes the woman has that, and most of the time the woman doesn't. So first of all, you sound crazy to ask these things of a man when you can't even provide half of it. Secondly, you have to realize at a certain point, it's not all about that. It's not all about his status and his wealth. You have your deal breakers, but that should never be based on the tangibles in life or the things that are determined by like status. It should be the character. It should be integrity. It should be spirituality. Does he treat his family good? Is he a good father? Is he a good provider? A woman wants to feel safe, mentally, physically, yes, financially as well. Emotionally, spiritually. And once a man can make a woman feel safe, regardless of any of that other stuff, then that's what you want. Then mission accomplished. So I just think it's crazy that, not so much even dumbing it down, but these women in Atlanta just feel like, because they see it. They see the bling, they see the flash, they see the celebrities, they see these Bentleys rolling down Peachtree like it's nothing, and all of a sudden you think, oh, that's the standard. No, boo-boo. That wasn't the standard before you moved to Atlanta, and it shouldn't be the standard when you get here because it's not. That's just half of the shit is. Half of the stuff is cheap cars. Like it makes me so upset because these women are so focused on the wrong thing, and it's like if you just focus on the right things, your whole perspective about dating will change. And it's not. And it's not knowing your worth, but also who you are, like presenting the best you, and you'll attract you will attract a good man, period.
There you go. Now, Nina, if you can't stay, I got to do a break real quick, and I'm going to respond to that real quick.
Can you stay for about 2 more minutes?
Yeah, I would love to hear Jay's response.
Okay, awesome. We'll be right back.
860 AM WAEC Atlanta.
It's inspiration for every generation. We're Atlanta's original source for talk that matters, plus news, traffic, and weather every hour. You're listening to Atlanta's all-new inspirational talk radio. Love 860 WAEC.
What's happening, baby? Ladies, ain't you tired of hearing dudes make excuses why they can't last long in bed? The days of the little blue pill is over. That's right. Gorilla Triple X is the new sensation that got everybody going crazy. This little gold pill is responsible for saving thousands of relationships. Ladies, don't go buy your man what he want for his birthday. Buy him what he need. A bottle of Gorilla Triple X. Look here, they stronger than Viagra. They last longer than Cialis. By the time your man finishes with you, your legs gonna be shaking like a hoopty with bad gas in it, I say. He gonna make you go from walking knock-kneed to walking bow-legged. You feel me? Fellas, don't let your ego keep making you feel like a little chimp. Take one of these Gorilla Triple X and become the gorilla you know you is, man. We even got deals on them. 2 for 10, 4 for 15, 6 for 21, and 12 of them for only $35, man. Call your boy Head right now. 706-593-4323. Gorilla Triple X. Stop making excuses and start making us say, baby, you about to kill me up in this thing.
What? Hey, I'm just saying. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I heard that gorilla pill thing. All right, we got good 3 minutes to do this now. We ain't gonna go there.
Okay.
We're gonna go back to the topic real quick.
Okay, you gonna do the counter or no?
No, I'm gonna do the counter thing a little later.
Fine.
We're gonna get back to this topic real
All right.
quick. Because I
you
respect Nina's time.
I know. Thank you for staying with us, Nina.
Definitely.
Look, everybody calling now. We got about 3 callers back here.
They like what you're
saying. They like what you're saying.
But I do too. I like what you're saying, but again, I got to respond to this. And the reason I want to respond is I feel like a woman should never dummy down to a person. And I'm going to tell you why. If you have a strong gift and you're strong-minded, that is a blessing. And when you don't use what he gave you, because that's a gift from God, and you start doing something less, you will lose yourself. So why do that? Because you need to look at the person you with. I feel like sometimes we choose the wrong person. So if you got to hold on to something and act a certain kind of way to hold on to them, it wasn't meant for you. And that's the signs of dating. And that's why good communication and stimulation of the mind and dropping the flesh sometime will lead you to it faster than just not and doing the regular dating. This is being honest. This is how I really feel. Because I really feel like when Shay was talking about to be so intelligent but to talk less for a man to feel like a man, you shouldn't talk less to make me feel like a man or I got a problem. Because I'm a real man and I sure don't need no woman to act stupid for me to feel strong. I'm strong already. So I need you to be a strong woman with me for we can be equally yoked. Because if you do anything else, we got problems. Because I don't know who I'm with. I need to know who I'm with at all times. Always be you. Because you're the blessing that he gave me. And I know what I have. And that's what I want to wake up to. I want to wake up to make sure the person next to me wakes up. That's true love. When I can't sleep, at least I'm with the one I'm with. It sounds deep and it might sound like a book, but it ain't Shakespeare. It's real. And if anybody ever fell in love, they know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, and you want to experience it, please don't force it. Because if you force it, you probably ain't got what you really was blessed to have. And so that's why I don't like the word dummy and down. It sounds dumb. So why do it? And I don't understand why people would encourage it. Well, if you want to keep a good man, then you just got to act stupid. Really? That sounds like something on TV. That's that ratchetness that I cannot promote. And I won't. That's why I'm out here doing this, because I ain't got no producers sitting up there telling me I got to say some ratchet craziness to get somebody to call me. No. I'm going to tell you the truth. Be intelligent. Be what God led you to be. But do not listen to the rhetoric of the world and tell you something like dummying down to anyone.
Okay.
stay strong. That's my comment on that one, because I'm telling you now, that wasn't going to work for me. I have to run. Just saying. Ow.
That's good stuff. And Jay, that's spoken from a man. A lot of times these women need to listen to that, because it's coming from a man, not your girlfriend who's never been a man. Like, it's coming from a man.
And that's key.
It's very true. And I have no reason to tell a woman a lie, because, again, most people lie for a desired outcome to be with you. I'm not trying to be with anyone. I'm trying to give because of the fact of what's in me. It took time for me to reflect to be a better person. And in that reflection, I seen a lot of my faults. And I don't have a problem talking about them, because that's how you understand true growth. Mm-hmm. And not sit here and act perfect and tell people lies. That right there don't work for me. I would rather tell you the truth and not care if you don't like me, because I'm not always going to be liked, but I can at least be respected.
Bam.
That's good.
Bam, bam, bam. Well,
Oh,
Nina,
it's bam, bam. What you
I'm
you
just
over there
saying,
jamming?
I love it. I love it.
I love it too. I co-sign.
It's a good dialogue.
Yeah, bam. I thought you was trying to pop, lock, and drop it. I'm like, you too old for that? I'm just saying, girl.
Well, Nina, are you hanging with us? Or do we need to let you go? I know you passed your time.
Oh, I don't mind hanging.
Okay. Well, we've got our next group coming in, 25 and older. I'm sure they have some comments. And Amelia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Good. Amelia's from 25 and older. They are a great group that is in with the Jay and Shay Show. They have a featured spot here every week. Tell us what's going on with 25 and older this week.
Okay, so there was a picture posted, and it looked something like this. It said a man plus a woman. This is how the relationship is set up now. So it's a man plus a woman, plus a worldly woman, also known as some kind of garden tool that I probably can't say.
Thank you. Clean it up. Thank you.
Plus an ex trying to mess it up. Plus a female friend secretly hoping that it ends. I call her the hype woman. She's probably telling him what he deserves, what he doesn't have at home, what he needs, and the such. So the question came up, do all men cheat? So it was an interesting discussion, and a lot of people said that at some point in a man's life, he's probably going to cheat. Some of the guys tried to rein it back and say that, it was a thing about growth, and they would get to a point that, they didn't want to or need to do that anymore. And then there were women who said, yes, men cheat, all men cheat, or most men cheat, and usually it happens because men get bored, and if you start complaining or you don't want to do something that he likes or that he feels like he needs, then, well, with today's technology, he'll just log on to social media and get what he's not getting at home. So there were also a couple of guys who just chimed in, and they were like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. Like, I'd never cheat. There were several guys who said that they have never cheated, and they feel like if they're fulfilled at home in their relationship, there's no need to cheat. And there's always they're men, so you can look and not touch. So then there was the question, like, where are they at? And one guy was like, there are some men that they're unicorns. And this whole unicorn thing came up, which was really interesting. And some of the women chimed in and was like, well, where we get a unicorn from? And it was like, well, unicorns don't exist. So they're basically saying a lot of women have accepted the fact that men are going to cheat. There are no honest, truthful, relationships out there. And to me, I felt like it was sad that some of these women believe that. And they said, so you have to deal with it, leave, or stay single. Those are your options. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
What do you think, Nina? Did you understand the picture and the concept?
Oh, completely. Okay. I've seen that picture on social media, and I think it's sad because the picture, I can look past that because people post ratchet stuff all day. They want a reaction. But I think it's more sad that the woman felt like that because I agree with the men who said not every man cheats, not every man will cheat. A lot of men do cheat, but it sounds stupid and crazy to generalize to that capacity. I think it's even more sad that there are women who feel like that's the standard. And I think a lot of that, I believe in the law of attraction. When you put that out there, that all men are going to cheat, then that's what you're going to get back. I went into my relationship thinking, no, all men don't cheat. Yes, a lot of them do, but not all men cheat. And I'm going to find a man that doesn't cheat because I'm worthy of that. And I got that. He was married to his ex for 16 years and never cheated. So I know it's possible, and I refuse to accept anything less. And my heart breaks for the women who think that that's all that there is out there, are unicorns that don't exist and men that cheat.
I'm going to tend to chime right in on that and tell you I do too, that unicorn thing, because I ain't seen one except for cartoons. So let me keep it real with you. When they throw this little diagram up here, if this is what you believe the sadness is, men cheat with who? Half the time with what? Oh, another woman. So again,
you see the diagram. I got it up here for you.
You got the diagram up there. And what's that? You see that the garden,
the garden tool? She's right in the middle.
That's another woman. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then what other one down there? That's another woman.
Right.
So there's a bunch of women here. Okay. Mm-hmm. My whole thing is, if we respect our bodies and stop running to the flesh, it stops a lot of the stuff that they're saying constantly goes on. Because again, ladies, I'm a man. We're sleeping with somebody. So while you all out there talking, and we're out here doing, please, we're sleeping with women.
You used to tell me that all the time. You
and the women that you're talking about is, again, your hurt friend that's willing to go behind your back and sleep with your man. Mm-hmm. So again, when you talk about the man and how men keep cheating, you need to talk to your girlfriend and quit telling her to go around doing all the ratchet stuff she's doing because you're hurt. Drop the pain and quit the blame. Because all I keep hearing is how you want to blame the man. It ain't never just been the man. Our society is getting out of control. So let's start talking real, because I keep hearing the rhetoric about men just keep cheating. Well, who are they cheating with? Mm-hmm. And that's all I keep hearing. They cheat. Well, tell your girlfriend to close the leg. There's less options for me to run out there and do if everybody ain't giving. Because again, men like to hunt. We like to stimulate. But if you,
he's trying to tell you something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Jay was on it.
It's all right though. I will apologize. I'll let you in.
I'm sorry. I hear you. However, usually when there's a cheating situation, a woman doesn't attack her man. She attacks the other woman. So
absolutely.
Women are very aware that women are involved in this whole equation.
But Jay, I can't, just because I'm a woman and I'm very much a girl's girl, like, I understand what you're saying and what your point is, and there's truth to that, but I can't let you just say if women stop doing it, because it's twofold. If men stop speaking and a woman stops, settling for other people's relationships, then it would both stop. But I personally believe on a spiritual level that people have a lack of moral compass. Like, I believe when no one is looking and you decide to do whatever ratchetness you want to do, like, to me, there's got to be some sort of moral compass involved, and I think people lack spirituality, because if you feel like, whoever you worship is watching you or is holding you accountable, it makes you second guess or stop and think about, maybe I shouldn't do this because there's a consequence. If you live your life and you feel like there's no consequence, nothing's going to happen, it's no one's watching, then you're going to do whatever you want without any fear of a consequence. But I feel like if you feel like there's a consequence, whether it be morally or ethically or, what you have to lose because your wife will leave with the kids and you won't see them, then people will not be so quick to wreck a happy home, so to speak.
And I agree with you.
There are several side conversations and side posts concerning this, and I can remember where basically it was men. The one man specifically said that men will do what they think that they can get away with, And ultimately, and I believe that it was a man who has actually experienced this, he says ultimately everything that's done in the dark will come to light. So you end up hurting people that you truly love and that you truly care about, trying to have some side situation going on because you think that you can get away with it.
Now I will go back and I will say, now I said the first time about the women close their legs, and I will say, two-sided. Y'all are correct. I went because I looked at the posts. Everybody get emotional. So I just spoke. But again, I will say, if we get it, because I'm going back to a process of correction. And my process of correction is if we get morally right and we believe in the one we with, then a lot of things that we do, we wouldn't do. Because if you can find a disconnect, and usually when a person cheats, there's somewhat of a disconnect. Because again, if we get back to the stimulation of the mind, some of the fleshly things that we're doing, we might not do so quickly. So we need to get back to communicating and having just a wholesome fun and not just make it all sexual. And then maybe we can grow and get to a better place. Because, again, I get mad when I keep seeing things reflecting that men cheat and they got a woman on the side, they got the ex-girl waiting. Okay, now don't get me wrong. When you're a good man, a lot of times that your ex-girlfriend might wait, but she already messed up. Okay? So don't blame me because she's sitting there waiting, because I moved on. My whole thing is let's all grow, because we all make mistakes, but we keep holding pain. And we're not changing. We're duplicating. So now you take that pain to the next person. I'm sorry.
I think we're missing the entire...
Oh, a guy has joined us.
I do apologize. What's your name?
It's Hank.
Oh, okay, I do apologize. Hank, man, we left you all out there. I thought I was by myself, my brother.
No. I'm going to give you something that maybe you guys kind of are dancing around. In my opinion, a lot of cheating doesn't just come just because sex is there. A lot of cheating comes because home is not happy. A lot of cheating comes because there's things going on inside your house that is not coinciding to what it was. We're looking at okay, this guy cheated with this girl, or this girl cheated with this guy, and because sex is easy. No, it didn't have anything to do with that. It took a lot to get to that point beforehand, in my opinion.
Go back into that. I mean, you started something. Now, you got to get more in depth, because you said home ain't right, because everybody that's cheating ain't married. And everybody don't live with one another because they shacking and doing things. So give me more of the disconnect, because that goes back to what I said, the disconnect, for we can have a process. Go ahead.
Okay. When a man comes home from work and he's bombarded with, situations that he doesn't have any control over, or he doesn't feel appreciated by the woman that he's putting his life on the line for, and his career and his entire economics on the line for, he may find somebody who thinks, okay, I will appreciate a man like that. If a woman
that is the hype woman.
Right. No, not necessarily. Because if a woman is...
That's a woman who doesn't have to live with you.
There we go.
Can tell you all of these great things about yourself, because she don't have to go behind you and pick up your stinky socks off the floor.
Did she get personal or what?
Deal with you snoring at night or bringing home half a check.
Okay, well, I don't know who hurt her, but she put you on blast.
I know.
Hold on, y'all. I got to go to break. I mean, I want this dialogue. We going to continue.
We'll be right back.
We're going to be right back, I promise.
They make us take a break, Jesus.
Yeah, because I like this. Y'all getting heated. She talking about snoring. Really?
And dirty socks and drawers. That's what I told you right away. I said, I don't want to watch no dirty drawers. Remember that? We'll be right back at Talking Real with Jay and Shay.
I know we're the only ones up in the studio. I know you ain't talking to me.
404-355-8699.
See, Davis, you need to get up in here.
We'll be right back.
Even I lost them.
What's happening, baby? I Sell Brazilian Hair's the place to be if you looking for top of the line quality for a price that's guaranteed. My homeboy here got the hookup, I say. One thing about I Sell Brazilian Hair is we always got hair on hand, so you ain't never got to worry about not being able to purchase some. One thing about this hair, there is absolutely no shedding, people. Look here, we selling hair so good and cheap they want to put it on the menu at McDonald's and Burger King. Y'all gonna be like, yo, let me get a Big Mac combo and order that Malaysian deep wave, I say. We got $75 a bundle for 18 to 28 inches, and anything under 18 inches is cheaper. We got all kind of hair, man. I Sell Brazilian Hair even offer financing, baby. Now where they do that at? Right here at 4910 Buena Vista Road, Suite B, or call us at 706-593-4323. If you don't feel like dialing all them numbers, man, *1 hair. I Sell Brazilian Hair. We love making our people look good. Pew.
Dressed up for the club. Utakana. Now that trip right there is gonna be on. That's Memorial Day weekend.
And this 25 and older is the group that's going with us with that. So I can't wait to get in my bikini fine.
Pool party, white party, black affair. They got a lot of things going on. So again, if y'all had nothing else planned, please make sure y'all already got booked, because I'm pretty sure that one's going to be one hot topic.
Just go to the JayandShayShow.com and they can sign
always
up.
Go to the website. Always. I always want to lead people back to me.
Okay.
Talk to me.
All right, they back to you. All of them are on the phone now.
I need them on the phone.
Kurt.
Whoa. Somebody got a helicopter. Somebody got a helicopter.
Okay.
Call us. Metro PCS, this don't seem to work up in here. I know everybody like to keep it cheap, but we going to need y'all to get some landline.
Everybody back with us?
Oh, no. Something ain't working.
Is somebody phone?
Yeah, we're going to... If I drop you caller, it's nothing personal. Bad feed.
Okay, let's try. See, can we hear you guys now?
No.
Okay, so it's somebody phone. Whoever just called in, please hang up and call us back.
No. If any, in a minute, might have to get all of them to call back in a second.
Yes. Okay.
We're going to have to get... If y'all can hear us, we do apologize. We're having technical difficulty. So if y'all can hang up, call back, we'll try to get y'all back on the air. Sorry about this. It happens. Only thing we can do is keep it moving. Keep it moving. Get back in here, and we're going to finish that dialogue. I do not want to
Is Nina still with us?
We're going to get
you
them
hung
to
up
call
everybody?
back. It's technical difficulty. It happens. You know,
Okay.
we drop. It happens.
Ooh. Okay.
But we getting them back. That's the most important thing.
Awesome. That sounded bad. I was like, oh, my Jesus. Okay. Okay, you back?
It don't sound like nothing different when you got a cheap phone. What you talking about?
I'm just... Okay, Hank and Nina?
Hey.
Thank you for calling us back.
You apologize. It happens, okay? Technical difficulty.
Awesome.
You know, I know how it goes.
Yes, we know you know what to do.
I ain't paid my phone bill. You know how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
you can still text me. No.
Lord Jesus. Okay, so welcome back. Guys, go ahead and we can still conversate about...
Lord, who you calling?
You calling someone?
Dynasty, you done lost it. Girl, quit calling your mama.
Dynasty, who you calling? For real?
Dynasty, we're going to talk about this
She said she's not calling anybody. Are y'all calling somebody?
I guess y'all doing this a group call.
Okay, maybe they're doing a three-way. Maybe somebody dialed a three-way. Hank, you calling somebody? It was Hank. Okay, Miss Nina.
Yes.
Who else is on there, Dynasty?
Amia.
Amia, you back?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Amia. That was Hank doing all that calling.
Hank.
See, Hank was trying to do a three-way. See, again.
Hank was trying to get that landline for help. It's okay. Hank, I got you, bro. You ain't have to call nobody. I was right here.
We got the ladies back. Go ahead and try to, you were saying something. She gave a good point.
She was giving a good point,
yes.
and I had to stop. So I apologize because we don't like to be rude. We have to do our commercials.
But that's why the women who are the hookups or the side pieces, they don't mind being a side piece because they don't really have to deal with all of your extra.
Hold on.
The toilet up.
Don't be over here shaking your head trying to read feed me,
I'm
player.
just saying,
just
they don't
saying.
have to deal with getting up in the middle of the night and you left that toilet open. We done told you 15 times not to. The dishes,
Well,
all
if you
the
wasn't trying to be that
clothes.
side piece and
They don't have to deal with that.
Okay.
All they see is the fun you who comes and wines and dines them and spends time in the hotel and she gives you whatever you need for that moment and she gone back home and then she doesn't have to deal with your kids yelling, feeding nobody, nothing. It's an easy job for her. So
Ultimately, the cheating comes from people not caring more about the person that they're with, because I believe that if that man who's going through all of the things that he's going through and he says that he needs something, if he cared about what his woman was going through on her end and she equally cared about him, there is no need for anybody else to fill any void.
there it is.
Well.
And that's where we have that disconnect and that problem of today. See, the number one thing is we're talking about it because it's a problem. Okay? And I want to make sure that's very clear on both sides. That is a problem. But we're trying to find out the process because there's things that's happening that disconnect mentally. And then, like she said, picking up after you and taking care of you. Again, it starts to be hatred. And you
That's
still
right.
love the one you with because I don't even like the things you do. It drives you spiritually away from the person you with. But you stay with them and it's like regret. And then that's what forces people to do things. And that's what it shouldn't be. Relationships shouldn't even be like that.
Says hurt people.
That's all they do, constantly. And it's like a back and forth. And then they promote it, though. Now, that's the thing that I really dislike. If you're going to be out there and
What do
you're
you mean
doing
promote?
when I say promote, bragging about all your infidelities. She don't do right, so I got so-and-so, and she do a whole lot better. You really want to put that out there. Exactly. And then you see him miserable later, but to the boys, oh man, he the man. Because we are boasting the negative, because it's starting to be a negative world. People are not focusing on the positive and trying to change the wrongs. They just promote it, and that's where the word ratchet is coming from. Because we ain't even trying to get it right. We looking crazier.
Don't you think, though, that even in a marriage, obviously the goal is to work together, to have this long relationship, but in situations where both parties are taking from that emotional account and now you're overdrawn, and then, they're arrogant and they're like out there just being reckless. Like as a woman, there comes a point like he's got to want to make that relationship or make that marriage right. Like you have to humble yourself and say, you know what, we both made mistakes, but I care that much about my family that I want to correct those wrongs and be better. Like, but if you're not, you can't make a man say, like, I want to work towards this, or a woman. So there comes a point where I will never co-sign divorce, but there comes a point where you're doing more harm than good for your kids and for your family and for your own self if someone's just going to be out there doing crazy and, making you look bad and misrepresenting your family. If both parties, regardless of the mistakes that they make, come and say, you know what, I care about our family and this marriage, regardless of the mistakes I made, and I want to commit to doing better, then I will always be the one that says, okay, let's try this again, and let's seek therapy or counseling or go to a church and speak to our pastor or something like that that's going to actually teach you the resources to get that relationship back on track and to a healthy point. But until those people want to actually do right or do better, you can't make anybody behave. Or act.
It has to be on both sides.
I totally
for that to
agree.
happen.
I totally agree. I agree. You can't make. But again, the conversation can help you reflect. And that's why I love having this conversation. Because again, people are going through things and then they're in denial. They want to act like it's really okay because they want to act in front of their family because they don't want them to know. But truthfully, they already know. You can't hide a lot of stuff like that. That's just a
And we were
disconnect.
talking about the different ways to cheat, too, because, some people think that they're not doing any wrong by not physically being with someone. But like I said, there's always this hype woman or hype man. Some people say that, women have like a backup plan. It's their guy friend that they lean on and talk to when their man isn't doing right. And a lot of women, cheating starts first emotionally. And even with some men, they think that they're not cheating because they're just having a conversation with a woman, and a woman is making him feel like his woman should make him feel. And we lean on that, and we don't, like you said, take from that account in our own home. We decide to get those things that we need from elsewhere. And you start to resent what you have at home because, well, it has to be something better out there. This feels better than that feels. And I know that there's a total breakdown when you just don't want to go back to that anymore. You get to a point where you don't want to say I'm sorry. You don't want to go to counseling. You don't want to talk about it. You just want to get out of it.
I agree with you. And also, social media does not help it anymore.
Does not
Social
at
media
all.
is just a negative outlook on everything. When you look at mom and dad in the household structure, it's almost like the dad is excluded. It's just the mother. And that's all they want to portray. And that's all they ever want you to see. It's the Cosby Show, the good shows that used to be on that you had some little inspiration. You don't see that as much. You got more ratchet shows out there, and that's more what they're promoting. Because they say that's what everybody watching.
I'm about to throw a little monkey wrench in here.
Oh, well, I like monkey wrenches.
Okay. I like what Amelia said about not wanting to deal with it anymore, and most people end up dealing with it for their kids. But like Nina said, it's almost worse for your kids. But let's go back to when we talk about, always talking about teaching, even if we can get the word out to the next generation, just a little, if we change the mind of just a few young people on dating to marry, not just out here dating and trying and just hitting it and quitting it and keep it moving, but actually dating to marry. But the key is, what did we grow up with? We didn't realize that Mama and Papa was having issues and that they had little side things on the side because they kind of kept everything quiet. And they said, well, Daddy, the men gonna be men. And so when I talked to my grandparents and I talked to my grandfather and my grandmother, and I was like, okay, why is Granddaddy always doing this? Why is he always gone on Friday? What I didn't realize was my parent was packing my father up and sending him on his way for the weekend because she knew about the other person, but she wanted to keep her happy home.
Say what?
But that's the kind of stuff that was happening in the older days. It was just a known fact that men would be men, and it was what it was. And so if you grew up with that, or you heard your grandparents, and now you're a person that's of a seasoned age, you're like, I ain't tolerating that. Because I know when I grew up with that, that's the first thing I told my husband. Look here, boo. It's either me or them. So it's always what you will accept. You want to be by yourself, you want to be single, or you just want to deal with the situation. And at some point you have to say enough is enough. I want the Boaz that's made for me, and God's going to allow me to have the perfect person that's not going to look outside of the relationship. He's going to talk to me. He's going to communicate with me. Hey, I don't really like it when you do this. How can we fix that? Etc. It doesn't have to be the way things have made it now, but it's very easy for people to have this scenario going on, and they got the person on Facebook, they liking them for 10,000 likes or 80,000 likes, and they get their self-esteem boosted up that they got a Facebook page with 50,000 people, 5,000 friends on it, and I won't even tell y'all how many times we get inboxes to Jay over here with snitching pictures and nakedness, and they don't even realize I'm getting it. But they know off of this show that what's really going on, but they still send inboxes.
Just go ahead.
I'm gonna call you out, but nonetheless,
who you calling out?
Your little people who put the inboxes.
Why they gotta be little people?
And then when they get on the phone after the show,
some of
they
pictures
call.
Look pretty big. That's some pretty big girls.
Yeah,
I attracted out.
Just saying. And then
for
they
the
call,
big girls, it's okay.
No. Then they call after the show. Is this Jay? No, this is Shay. Bye, boo. So
really, they be calling.
See, don't get me. Anyway,
It's
what
Jay,
I'm
y'all.
saying is, because of so much of that, so if I'm at home and I'm saying, Jay, you're not doing this or you're not doing that, and I'm constantly telling him what he's not doing, and then there's this certain person in his inbox saying, oh, you are so great, oh, you're so magnificent, oh, you're just this, da-da-da. That Keep it up. I'm gonna bust you. Well, anyway,
Inbox me right now.
See, that's what I'm talking about. But nonetheless, that's what I'm saying is part of our issue. Is social media has made it so much more accessible. He doesn't have to go out to the strip club. He don't have to go out to the club. He don't have to do anything. Just wake up in the morning and somebody hitting him on the inbox.
Hello.
The ex is still trying to get back. I see you, boo. You missed your turn. It's just.
And Shay, that's the difference between back in the day, because when the men cheated back in the day, they had to work to do that. You had to you had to go meet them.
They didn't have cell phones.
Yeah, they didn't have cell phones. It was scheduled to cheat, okay?
Yes, they did. They had them big old walkie-talkies. Why y'all tripping? Them big old battery packs.
But I remember one of my aunts basically hit my uncle upside the head.
Right?
I am
telling
snitching
all on your family.
He had a beeper, and it was a special code for the beeper for the woman.
See,
so
Shay can't hold water.
I'm just saying, this nothing new. It was happening.
It's your family. You just put your family on blast. I bet your Uncle Louie gonna kill you.
There's nothing new about cheating. However, it's easier for us to just be done with it now. Like back in the day, like I can talk about my grandparents. Both of my grandmothers worked. However, there were a lot of women who depended on their husbands, so they were the breadwinner. So I'm gonna stay so he can take care of these kids. And particularly in one of my grandmothers stayed until my daddy graduated from high school. She was like, we're going to get these kids out the house and then you can go on about the business. But she knew what he was doing. I mean, there's other aunties and uncles out there on both sides of my family. And I say that my grandmothers were different. They didn't.
Oh, we losing?
You speak up. Something happened to you, Amelia.
Amelia?
I don't know. There's some interference.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, you back. You back now.
I love what you're saying, but
like get back in here now.
It's the truth. It's the truth that now because we have gone up that corporate ladder, and so we have our own. We have our own cars. We have our own houses. And so if he act a fool, you're like, you know what? I don't have to put up with this. I got my own. I don't have to wait for you to bring home a check or take care of these kids. I can take care of these kids myself. So that's why it's easier to say, but I am just like a ride or die person.
I'm just saying.
I
got inboxes.
Yeah, you got inboxes.
I get inboxes. I get poked too.
Yeah, you get poked
too.
They
be poked?
Yeah.
Oh, shuck it now.
Keep it up. Anyway. Dang, we got a break again? What kind of fracking-knackle is this?
What you mean? We got sponsors.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Stop that fracking-knackling.
Okay, last break, y'all. We'll be right back with Talking Real with Jay and Shay on Love 860.
Now, y'all call on in now. All this inboxing.
They
call.
No more
They
calling.
need to call.
Bye-bye.
They need to call.
Boof.
I'm right. What you say, boof? Really?
What's happening, baby? Ladies, ain't you tired of hearing dudes make excuses why they can't last long in bed? The days of the little blue pill is over. That's right. Gorilla Triple X is the new sensation that got everybody going crazy. This little gold pill is responsible for saving thousands of relationships. Ladies, don't go buy your man what he want for his birthday. Buy him what he need. A bottle of Gorilla Triple X. Look here. They stronger than Viagra. They last longer than Cialis. By the time your man finishes with you, your legs gonna be shaking like a hoopty with bad gas in it, I say. He gonna make you go from walking knock-kneed to walking bow-legged. You feel me? Fellas, don't let your ego keep making you feel like a little chimp. Take one of these Gorilla Triple X and become a gorilla you know you is, man. We even got deals on them. 2 for 10, 4 for 15, 6 for 21, and 12 of them for only $35, man. Call your boy Head right now. 706-593-4323. Gorilla Triple X. Stop making excuses and start making us say, baby, you about to kill me up in this thing.
We back with now. Also, we got hedonism too. That's in the grill, Jamaica.
Yes,
now, that's in June.
Yes, we're excited about. I'm not sure with all your little inboxes. I don't know if I need to take you to the grill at this rate.
I mean, hold on. First of all, let's get back at you take me.
Okay, how about the 11th?
The show is going to the grill, Jamaica. Yeah. Shay ain't taking Jay.
I'm just saying.
Nowhere.
I don't think that we.
So all y'all inboxing.
No, keep it up. Keep it up. Just
saying.
Try.
You know, if y'all got the video of me right now, you know, I got a shirt and tie.
You know what?
You know what I'm saying?
That's why we cut the video off.
Oh.
Click.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, that's jacked up.
Anyway, welcome back, guys.
We having fun here.
He acting a fool
for all
today.
the one y'all just listening, you know, we try to have great fun every time we come, but we also trying to have great conversation. And right now, I think we got a great dialogue going, and I don't want it to stop, but we're gonna have to.
We running out of time.
Yeah, we running out. But I want to get back to it because I think we was making some good points right before we went on break.
We still have Nina Brown. All right, thank you, Nina, for staying with us. Yes.
Yes, Nina, I did not think you would stay the whole show. I really am honored, for real.
Oh, well, it's been that good. Thank you guys for being the bomb.
Yes. Okay, Amelia's still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, did Hank come back? No.
What happened?
No, Hank left. Okay.
Man, Hank just gave up on it.
Yeah, he did. Okay, well, go ahead, Jay. What you got to say now?
It's not just about what Jay said.
Okay.
It's just this whole situation is somewhat sad, but it happens. And my whole focus is to get away from what social media is doing, what Facebook is doing, and try to bring something different. Because Facebook ain't negative. It's the people that's on Facebook.
Okay, but babe, the
it's
question
the people,
is how do you do that? How
by
as women have to deal with
by getting
this.
off the couch and making change and reflecting what you're doing.
But we have to deal with the men who are doing this. So what?
Hold on.
What's
Well,
the
you
process?
keep saying you have to deal with the men,
Yeah.
but you got to understand it's a process where even I had to change. And one of the things that made me change is my indirectly hurting people by what I was doing. It helped force me to change, okay? So a lot of time while you're over there judging and asking about the process, I have to grow. People make mistakes. So do you. So while you're quick to judge, that's why I'm telling people, step back from the judging and look at yourself because it starts with you. Because we getting away from our moral grounds. That's why everything is getting so shaky. But the ones that find true love, base it off of good faith and foundation of strength, and that's that equally yoked. That's where that Boaz come from, because we so impatient. We just want it right now. And if we see somebody else have it, we want what they have. That's not for you. That's not your blessing. So when you get it and it wasn't for you, you won't keep it. That's why we're playing. And that's why this game is getting too dangerous. This dating is getting weirder and weirder, and people are getting more and more unhappy because we're getting too far from the truth. And that's why I got off the couch and came in here, because I'm not hearing nobody else talk about it. And I'm tired of hearing the rhetoric. Let's be real. We're all imperfect. We have ways, and some of us are better than others. But why are we spreading the wrong? And what's the right has been written. That's why I like the dialogue, for I can touch and reach. Because again, it takes a person who's willing to listen to change. I can't make a person change. This show won't do nothing unless you allow it in. All I try to stay is spiritually right, for I can give you truth. A mustard seed of what he has put in me, for I can give to you.
Speak, sir. Speak.
Hold on, this ain't no prayer.
Speak, sir.
This is just the real.
I mean,
Yes.
speak, sir.
There was something interesting that you touched on. You were talking about the social media inboxes, and it was something that we were talking about this week. Matter of fact, I believe it was today, and it was talking about, would you get upset if your spouse or significant other, whatever, went through your cell phone? And I think a lot of the problems, when it comes to cheating, is that now we have so many ways to hide. There's so much more privacy in a relationship that there wasn't. And I kept trying to remind people on the post, do you remember before all this social media? Do you remember life before the cell phone? You say, you better not touch my cell phone. But just think, about 20 years ago, there was no cell phone. When someone called you, they were calling a house, and anybody had access to that phone. So I think that, and I mean, I was married up until just last December, and we had an open phone policy until somebody had something to hide. So I believe that, I didn't have a cell phone for a while because I had a house phone. I didn't see a need for it. So if we were in a public place and, out and I needed the phone, I'm going to pick it up. I'm not snooping. I'm not looking, because I don't think that my husband has anything to hide. So I can pick up the phone. I say, oh, you took pictures of the kids' program. Well, let me, scroll in and send to my auntie. I'm not snooping. it shouldn't be a secret. It shouldn't be any surprises in there. You don't have to, people say, well, it's my privacy and I need, what if, go back 20 years, you didn't have such privacy. There was no need for it. It's a relationship. I believe that when you have all of these places that you can hide stuff, you're going to put stuff in it. You're going to have stuff to hide. You're going to find something.
Hey, Amelia, like you said earlier about the dirty drawers and stuff, it's okay for you to go put away their stuff now, but until they start hiding something in that drawer, then they don't want you in that drawer. So it's just like that. No one cares unless there's something to hide. You know what I mean? So right. I totally agree with you.
Well, I'll go back to hiding is still not trusting. Because, again, they trying to hide because they don't trust telling you the truth. Because they might be afraid that you might leave them. I don't know. But
but you have to give me the grown-up option to decide if I want to.
I agree with you. But unfortunately, that ain't what you've been getting. Because, see, I can keep it real. That ain't what you've been getting. That's why we're going through this. People tell you a lie because they got a desired outcome. And it's not to tell you what they really got going on because they don't want you to leave. Half of us they fear because they've been through this before. And that's what we carry. But this is what we need to let go for we can grow and change what we're doing because we set the precedence. It's just like what Nina said. She wanted a black man like her father. I am a man. I need to make sure I do right. I got 5 kids, 3 girls. Little Lexi, but she ain't no girl. All of them are ladies now. They look at me and they want a man to be like me, so I have to be my best. And I can't just keep doing wrong because I can't expect more for them if I can't live right. That's indirectly how I learned my wrongs when my daughters was talking to me about the men they was dating, things they was doing, and I realized how I talk about them young boys, and I reflected what I was doing. And that made me change. Not always just the direct person I was with, the indirects, because I love my kids. I love them so much, I got off the couch and I'm in here now because they helped me grow. And I'm 45 years old, and I ain't scared to tell you I made mistakes. But what I will say is I've grown from them. And if that makes me not as strong as a man as the next person, better for you, but I ain't broken. I just got better.
But Jay, the scary thing is, think about all the households who don't have a man like you or a father figure to have those conversations with their daughters. The same conversations, they're happening all day long, and yet there's no man who's going to sit there and say, that's not what you need, that's not what it's about.
And that's why
show them love without sex, what love without sex feels like. If they don't ever feel love without sex, then they think the two have to be attached because that's the only thing they know.
And I agree with you. But that's why I also came in here to put my voice out there and to say, and I've not said it lately, and I do apologize, that I can sit on the mic and say I love you without the fleshly desires because that's what people need to hear. People need to hear the real. And I can honestly tell somebody I love them. And it's true. And it's in my heart because the Lord blessed me with a big heart. And I've shown that through different people that I met and even the ones I didn't. I honestly can say it. Because all I've been through, he got me through. And all I can do is share my heart with you. So for the young ladies that feel like they don't know which way to go, please listen in because this man ain't trying to play you. All I got is a desire of love, and what he gave for me, I would love to share with you without that desire of lust. And that's not the ones that's putting in my inbox. And that's why Shay see them, because I don't care for them. That's not what I'm about. I'm not on this radio show to get the hype for somebody to pick me up. I'm not looking for that. I am spiritually bound for something greater than the fleshly desires of what they trying to offer.
You said that right there. Now, I do want to say something that Nina said right there, that there are so many households that do not have a man to speak into them. And when you asked me earlier, did I regret going through the corporate world and just not really knowing my daughter? Yeah. That's one of my regrets, is that I did choose to not be in a relationship. After my husband passed, I decided that I was just going to raise Lexi by myself. And that's one thing I regret, is that I did not remarry. I did not redate and go back out there and put myself back out there. I chose to raise her by myself. And she missed a great component of when it was time to start dating and going off to college and being in high school, having someone, a male figure to talk to say, this is the game that's being run. This is what they're going to say to you, baby. This is what not to fall for. Even though, I prayed over her and she turned out to be a great young lady, it is just one of those things that I regret her having a father figure in her life that could have given her those things that now she's trying to figure it out. She's 23 years old and she's dating and still trying to figure out what is a real man and who he is, because I didn't really give her that father figure. I just raised her the best I could with church, and everybody else in my community really helped me raise her. But if I could do it all over again, I would have remarried and had a father in the household so she could see them pulling out my chair and doing all the stuff that Jay does for me now, and opening my door, and, all the things that your daughter should see their father doing. I want to get that word out there for those widows or those single moms. It is possible. If just like Nina said about the law of attraction, it is possible for your Boaz to come. You just have to be open to it and not have the bitterness and the hurt of what happened in the past. Oh, you were cheated on last, or something happened, or somebody might have touched your daughter, so now you don't want to get back out there. If you walk with God and you set and put things in order and say, I am going to totally depend on you, God, I'm going to trust you, guess what? He's going to bring the right man in order to you right away.
Amen.
That will cover your children, that will pray over your children, that will be a great father to your children and to you, that will cover you and secure you. Just like Nina said, what we're looking for is security and safety. Knowing if a man can safely secure me and secure my household and let me know that everything is order, I'm good.
I'm good.
No, I'm not gonna lie, she great. And just to let you know, seriously, just to let you know, as a person that sit next to you, I think you did a great job with your daughter. And you are a single parent due through the tragedy of you losing your husband. So I have to say kudos to you and a lot of women out there that raised your child by yourself. It wasn't meant for you to have to do that by yourself, whatever circumstance you're with. Do not hold your head down low. We are trying to encourage better, not slander. So please listen to me. The children, if you can call in, I'm trying to make myself in the future more available because of the fact I really feel like us getting out there and doing more leadership roles is where I want to go. The show. I need callers. I need the help of the community. It takes a tribe. I'm trying to go back to the old. This is a new time, and we need some old eras, but I got some new tactics. But I need y'all help. So get your kids to communicate, call in, and we're going to see what we can do to better what situations we have. With y'all help, we might make this a better world. But I can't do it alone. It wasn't meant for me to do it alone.
How about that, Jay? You said something right there. Hey, she giving us the wind up, Nina.
She keeps saying wind up. I asked her to get on the air with us.
No, you should see her. She's over there. All right,
she's
now.
Trying to go home.
She telling us to wind up, Nina.
Nina, a girl after my own heart.
Right. She giving us the signal that hey, we have a minute left. So anything you want to say last, Nina? We really appreciate you. And Amelia from 25 and older. I know you usually don't stay on this long. We really appreciate you. Nina, go ahead and say your last thoughts.
My last thoughts was thank you for having me. And if anyone wants to reach out to me or follow me on any of my social media sites, websites, my website is IamNinaBrown.com, and my social media is Panina Brown. I'm all over Twitter, Facebook, Instagram is Panina Brown, and Facebook is Nina Brown. Or just go to I Am Nina Brown and you'll be able to find me there.
Thank you, Nina, so much for joining
you.
us.
This was amazing.
Girl, I love you.
I love you, too.
And Jay, I love you. And thank you for allowing me to say, let's do the show, because it's been a great, I mean, it doesn't even feel like we only been on the air since January. It's just been correct.
It really did.
Amazing.
And it grew, and I'm loving it, and I know we got to go, but one of the things I have to say to sum it up, I'm just a man trying to fulfill a mission that I feel God led me to. So the number one thing I can say right now in closing is I love you. And it might seem corny and it might seem overrated, but let's make a change and make it meaningful. So again, I love you. Hear from y'all again next Friday.
Same
I
time.
need your help.
It's Talking Real with Jay and Shay on Love 860. Get it, Jay.
We out.
We out. See you next week.
No flame could ever dig a grave.
Well, that's a wrap. And Jay lost again. Get more Talking Real on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow the Jay and Shay Show to get the 411. And be sure to join us every week at the same time for the real deal on the things that matter to you. Right here on Love 860 WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio.